In the ancient Gnostic texts, and in particular the Pistis Sophia, we read a lot about eons. Now, an eon has several definitions. Most commonly it refers to a lengthy period of time. Several billion years of conventional time equals one eon. It is the equivalent of a kalpa in Buddhist terms and Hindu terms, and it is this definition that I think most people are familiar with. But in the Gnostic texts, in the Pistis Sophia, an eon is also a realm or dimension of being, existence, that proceeds as an emanation from the absolute. It is a little like in Buddhist thought when we imagine or think of this world as an emanation or a manifestation of the Dharmakaya, or the ultimate reality. And these eons extend out like ripples from a central point where a stone has fallen in a pond or a lake, and the eons extend out further and further from the source point. And in the Gnostic cosmology, the existence of this material world, of this conventional reality, is itself one of these ripples. And the further away from the absolute that these eons are emanated, then the greater the risk of failure or error occurring within that eon. That is used in Gnosticism to describe or explain the existence of this material, conventional, faulty reality of matter, as opposed to the pure realm and the higher eons of spirit. And in the Pistis Sophia, we read how the eons lord over Sophia. They rejoice in her having innocently wandered from her own domain into the lower eons and being ensnared by what the Pistis Sophia calls self-will. I do apologise for the background noise. I'm just walking over a bridge over the German Autobahn. So these eons lord it over Sophia, and she becomes the victim of ego, of the self-will and its schemes. And this is, of course, a metaphor or a very useful image of our own selves, or what we perceive to be ourselves, being ensnared by ignorance and delusion. And in the Gospel of Mary, Jesus is asked about the sin of the world, and Jesus says, there is no sin. There is no sin because the only sin, the only error is ignorance. And in this respect, we are indeed victims of self-will and ego. And the eons, the lower eons, these emanations of the absolute, but faulty realms, where the false idea of self can arise. They can lord it over us and rejoice, as it were, in our downfall. But the story doesn't end there, because the first mystery, the absolute, the true light, descends to assist Sophia and to rekindle in her her original light, her true nature, and to help her to realize this light once more, that she ascends back to pleromic joy. And that's our story too. Sophia's story is our story. The story of the Sophia within. I wish you all a very, very blessed day. Sophia eleison, glory to the Magdalene.